Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is gonna be a story time. I'm going to tell you guys about the time that I found out I was pregnant at 17 years old, and how it all went down with my parents, my in-laws, and my husband, who was my boyfriend then, and all that shit, like everything I can remember, at least, because it's been so long already, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna find a place to set up this camera because right now my daughter just woke up from a nap, and I was trying to record this before she woke up, but I was like putting on my makeup, so it like didn't really work out for me. So yeah, so now I gotta carry her, and she's pretty heavy. So we'll figure this. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, okay, let's go. It all started with me having an eye infection. And my mom was like, we need to go to the doctor so they can get you antibiotics, you can get that shit treated, yada yada yada. And I was like, okay. So we get there and we're telling them what's up, like what I'm feeling and why we're here, or why we were at the appointment and all that. And then out of the blue, my mom's like, she was like, can she take a pregnancy test? And I was in my head, I was like, girl, are you pregnant? No, I don't think so. You know, I was in my head like, I'm not pregnant, am I? And I was like, that thing is gonna come out negative. Like, there's no way in hell that thing is coming out positive. Like, no, I'm positive it's not gonna be positive. The doctor tells me to go to the restroom, pee in a cup, yada yada. You guys know the deal. And yeah, so I pee in the cup and I put it in the little window where the nurses get it from the other side so they can do the test there. And I'm in the bathroom just chilling for a bit, like looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, am I pregnant? Like, am I really? Like, I stand like this, like face the mirror and everything. Like, Amy, are you really pregnant? Okay, here's another thing. I was on a pill, and the pill makes you feel like crap. If you've taken the pill, like, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I don't know, maybe sometimes some people don't get the same thing. But when I was taking the pill, it was like I was pregnant, but there was no child growing inside of me. Like, you know what? I'm gonna stop taking it once my husband leaves back again to his training. I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and then I'm gonna stop taking it, because I read somewhere that you need to wait like 2 or 3 weeks for it to, like, you know, be okay, and after you had sex, this and that and all that. So I made sure I timed everything right after, like, since he left, and then I timed everything. Like, I was spot on how long I had to wait. So I stopped taking it because I honestly didn't like how I felt, and I didn't feel the need to take it because, I mean, I wasn't gonna have sex with anybody like when my husband was gone. So yeah, that's why I stopped taking the pill. I didn't stop taking it on purpose. I didn't do it like, oh, I'm gonna fucking cuff this fool and I'm gonna get pregnant so he can stay with me forever. No, that was like, honestly, the last thing I wanted to do during that time was to get pregnant. I was already a fuck up as it was with school. Like, I was so behind on my credits. I was constantly missing my work that they had to transfer me to another high school. So, I mean, I was already a fuck up. The last thing I wanted was to get pregnant. Like, what was that gonna get me? Nothing. I saw this thing on Facebook the other day about, like, do you really want to end up like your sister? And this Jada Smith going, or like, I'll put it in here. It's fucking hilarious. So the doctor detoured me, and she's like, can we go to the next room? And I was like, okay. And as she was closing the door, she says, well, your test came back positive. And I was like sitting down, and I always tell people this. Like, I felt like my soul left my body, and I was watching someone get the news, like, damn, girl, I said to you, you pregnant, oh my god, like, I feel for you, I'm sorry. The doctor was like, do you want to tell your mom right now? I was like, you know what, let's just get it over with. Let's just tell her the news and just quick, like that. We go back to the room where my mom was, and the doctor barely starting to close the door, and I'm barely gonna sit down where they check you and everything, and she's like, your daughter's pregnant. And I was like, bitch, let me sit down first. I was like barely going like that. And my mom just immediately started crying, immediately. She looked over at me, she's like, ¿Por qué, mi, por qué? And then the doctor's like, obviously the important thing right now is to figure out what's gonna happen. Like, we had to get you an OB and everything. And then she asked me, are you thinking of terminating, or are you going to raise the baby, keep it, or put it up for adoption and all that? Because I was young. And I was like, obviously I'm going to keep it. She was like, uh-huh. My mom was like, uh-huh. She's going to keep it. Yeah. I was like, no. She was like, no. to the abortion thing. I was like, damn girl, relax. I was going to say yes anyway, chill. So we left the doctor's office and we were walking to the parking lot, and my mom did not say a word to me. Like, I'm saying she didn't like talk to me at all. That day she was actually going to get a smog check on her truck. My mom decides to talk to me. We're going to tell your dad right now. We're going to call him and tell him that you are pregnant. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, he is my dad, so I gotta tell him, and I live with him. So my mom calls him, and she's like talking to him, saying, yo no lo puedo creer, está embarazada esta niña, apenas tiene 17 años, ¿cómo nos va a hacer esto, this and that. She was like, ten, te quiere hablar tu hija. I was like, I honestly didn't want to talk to him, but okay, that's fine. I'm talking to my dad on the phone, and I'm telling him like, yes, I'm pregnant, and he's like, well, there's nothing that we can do, you're already pregnant, like, there's no return policy on that. And he's all like, just know, no matter what, you're always gonna have my support and anything that you need for the baby, diapers, formula, whatever it may be. You know, you have my support. And he's like, I'm not gonna kick you out of my home. You know, you are more than welcome to stay for as long as you need to stay in my house. And I'm gonna try and help you as much as I can with the baby and, you know, all that. I mean, I knew my dad wasn't going to be like, I'm going to kick you out of the house. I'm going to disown you, because there's a lot of fathers that are like that. And then my mom's like, okay, so we need to tell your boyfriend's, my husband, family, the news. And I was like, can we just wait? Like, we just found out today. I'm like barely still like putting myself together, collecting myself from the news, because I'm the one that's pregnant, not you, girl, me. Like, I know you want to tell everybody, like, right now, like, Band-Aids, like, rip them off all at once. But I need time to, like, sit down and just, like, just take it all in. Which was not about to happen if I told my husband's family. But, of course, my mom's like, no, we're going to tell him today. I don't care what you say, we're going to tell him today. So my mom sends my mother-in-law a message saying that we need to talk to you. Is it okay when we go to your house when you get off of work? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll let you guys know when I'm off of work. So yeah, we stay like that. The time comes around when we have to go to my in-laws' house and tell them that I am pregnant and all that. So my mom even told my dad to go so the whole family could be there, the whole gang, which is weird because my parents cannot stand being in the same room because they're divorced. So for them to like even like come together, unite together for this, I was like, damn, for this you will, but for other stuff, no, huh? So yeah, we get to Ventura, and because that's where my husband's from, we get to Ventura, and I go straight to my sister-in-law's room, and she tells me like, what happened? And I was like, I'm pregnant. She's like, oh, no way. And I was like, yeah. And I tell her this, the whole reason we came here to talk to you guys is to like, you guys, like, tell your parents that I'm pregnant. And she's like, yeah, my dad kind of had like a feeling that it was that. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. She was like, yeah. I was like, oh. And everybody's crying again. My mom's crying again. I mean, everybody. I mean, my mom's crying again. And then my mother-in-law's crying. My dad, well, he's serious, and so was my husband's dad. And I sit down, like they're all in front of me sitting down, and then it's just me by myself on another couch. And his dad's like, do you remember what I told you the night you decided to sleep over? Do you remember? And I'll tell you guys what he told us that day. So my husband had just graduated from boot camp, and he obviously went home, and they had a party for him, yada yada yada. And I obviously wanted to like stay with him, like sleep over, so I could spend time with him because I hadn't seen him in like 3 months. And the plan was that I was gonna sleep in his sister's room, because for obvious reasons they didn't want us to sleep together, to, you know, like they know what happens. And my husband was insisting to his dad, like, come on, just let her sleep here, Dad, like we take care of each other, this and that, like don't worry. And his dad's like, okay, if you guys sleep together in the same room, just know that there are consequences if something goes very wrong. And we're like, and he's like, yeah, like don't worry, I know, like we take good care of each other, this and that, like again. And he's like, all right, fine. So he let me sleep in the room, and you know, obviously shit went down. So that's what he was talking about. And he did tell us to, like, there's consequences. And he's all like, so what are you guys gonna do? And he asked me if I've told my husband, and I was like, I haven't told him. And he's like, okay, well, why don't you tell him now? And I was like, okay, I'll call him. And I was like about to get up, like getting my phone and like, you know, about to call my husband. He's like, and his dad's like, no, I want you to stay here, and and I want you to do it in front of us. And then in my head, I was like, does this guy really think I'm not gonna tell him? Like, what is the deal? Like, now they don't trust me to even go outside in the front of the door to tell my husband, that my boyfriend at the time, that I'm pregnant. Like, so I had to sit in front of them and tell, like, my husband that I was pregnant. Let's count how many times I said pregnant in this video. I call him from my phone first, and that fool doesn't answer. I'm like, you mother... I'm just kidding. No, but I was like, for real? And then his dad calls him, and he picks up automatically. I was like, you are such a fake ass. So yeah, his dad's like, oh, your girlfriend's here. She needs to tell you something. And, you know, he passes me the phone. And then he was like, hello. I was like, yeah, so I went to the doctor's today, and I took a pregnancy test, and it came out positive. And he stayed quiet. And he's all like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I was at the doctor's, and I took the test there. He's all like, well, I mean, there's nothing we can do, you know, like, I'm obviously going to help you out and support you with the baby and everything, like, as much as I can. And I know I'm not there and this and that. The whole time that we were there, they were just going at it. Like, they were telling me, like, you know, you're young. This is going to be hard. Your life is going to change so much. This and that. And I mean, at that time I was really annoyed because I was like getting attacked by everyone. Like, I had just found out that day that I was pregnant myself, me, the one that's gonna carry the baby. I was like, I was in shock still, and I just didn't want to deal with anyone. Like, I just wanted to go home. I honestly just wanted to cry and just be by myself. Like, I did not want to hear it anymore. Like, I know I fucked up. I know I'm pregnant, and I know I'm young, and I know it's going to be a lot of a difference in my life. Like, I get that. It's going to change so much. I get it. And then, like, also aside from that, like, I have to deal with, like, the rest of my family reacting to the news. So yeah, like, it was just so much for me to take in, like, myself. Like, I know it was very irresponsible of me to do, to stop taking the pill just like cold turkey like that, I guess. I don't know how much time you actually have to wait. I should probably investigate more. But I mean, I'm on the IUD, so I don't really care. But yeah, you guys, that's the story of me finding out how I found out I was pregnant, the reaction of my parents, my in-laws, all that shit. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one.